Hello love, it is me Mama Ray and I am back with another video. So today what we will be doing is, wait a minute, pause. If you have not yet, I ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, if you have not already, I ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. You might as well, you're watching me. No, I'm just playing. Please just, like, comment, and subscribe so you can follow me on this journey. I have a lot of journeys coming up. I already told y'all about my lock journey, which is going great. But tomorrow is a very, very big journey. And I definitely want to take you guys along with me. So, leading up to this journey, I kind of want to do a quick story time and just kind of, let you guys know what happened prior to what's happening tomorrow, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing tomorrow. And yeah, be raw, real, and uncut, and honestly just let you guys into my life. Um, when I made this channel, which I had a channel prior to this channel, but when I made this channel, one of the things that I definitely said I wanted to do was be raw, real, and uncut. Because when I watch different YouTube channels, I like people that, can keep it real, that can be honest, that's, living everyday life and letting people know that it's not always rainbow and unicorns. Like, life be life. So I'm going to kind of talk about my prom pregnancy. If you are not familiar with what prom is, then let me see. I have my phone here. I like to make sure that I'm using the right terminology for whatever I'm talking about to better inform you guys so that, if you know, that's good, that's great. But all of us don't know. And it's important to know, what I'm speaking about when I'm speaking about it. So prom is basically the preterm premature rupture of membranes. You guys see that? That's what prom is. Um, Basically, in layman's term, it's when you're pregnant and your amniotic sac ruptures early, which means that basically your water breaks well before it should. Um, Now, with me, it happened very early on. As a matter of fact, to be exact, it happened at 16 weeks. So at 16 weeks, unfortunately, this was my first pregnancy with my only child. She would have been my only child. She is still currently my only child, but my daughter. And my first pregnancy. So, of course, I was overjoyed, ecstatic, happy, excited. You name it, that's how I felt about it. And unfortunately, it was not the pregnancy that I prayed for. See, sometimes in life, things don't go as planned. And honestly, a lot of time in life, things don't go as planned. And you can either let it completely destroy you, or you can choose to live and not just survive. And that's what I'm choosing to do. One of the things that's helping me with that is what I'm doing right now, which is documenting my life, writing in my journal. I love, love, love to journal, listening to gospel music, things like that. But anywho, so yeah, this is my story time about my prom pregnancy. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll get right into it. Like I said, found out that I was pregnant April of 2022. At 16 weeks, I end up having my amniotic sac to rupture. True story, you guys. I couldn't make it up. Like, I was laying in the bed, regular morning, trying to get rest, because everybody know when you're pregnant and you're in that beginning stage, sis, I don't know what the problem is, but you be so tired, energy at zero. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to talk about anything. You don't feel like being bothered. It's just all bad. But it gets better. I will say that. So I'm laying in the bed at 16 weeks. I was the full-time caregiver for my mother. Rest in peace, my baby soul, because my mother also recently passed away. To be honest, her and my daughter passed away same month, same year, which was October of 2022. But like I said, I was laying in the bed after having a pretty rough night with my mother, because she had been diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's. And if you know, you know. But if you don't know, it is a very serious, you know, disease. And yeah, so I'm laying in the bed, sac ruptured. And it really just felt like I peed on myself. I'm going to be honest. I thought I peed on myself. So I was like, oh my God, I have peed on myself. This is so embarrassing. So I jumped up. Again, this is my first pregnancy, remind you. So I don't know what to expect. I jump up. I run into the bathroom. And when I got into the bathroom, I was still just gushing water. Like water just coming out like a freaking waterfall. So I instantly called 911. Called for, you know, of course, EMS to come out, explain my situation. They told me to kind of just sit down, lay back, be still, and they would have, you know, someone on the way. Well, my husband, he wasn't waiting for EMS because I also called him. So he rushed home, you know, he beat EMS here. Like, he was playing no games. Beat EMS here, rushed here, got me. We rushed to the doctor, to the hospital. And to be honest, when I got there, everything was like calm before. It was like the calm before the storm, because at first they were just simply telling me, oh, okay, well, you know, you could have peed on yourself. I know it's embarrassing, but we'd much rather it be that than for it to be amniotic fluid. So we're waiting. Long story short, the doctor come back into the room and says that they have to do a swab test on me to see if it's, to be sure it's not amniotic fluid. They come back in, they do the swab test. I remember as plain as day during the ultrasound, because they took me after the swab test to get an ultrasound. The, you know, tech that I was talking to, the one that was doing my ultrasound, I kept asking, could I see my baby? Because, like, you know, when I first found out I was pregnant and leading up to that, whenever I did get an ultrasound, they will always make sure that, you know, I was able to, you know, see baby girl, hear her heartbeat. You know, they would be just as excited as I am showing me, you know, her on camera and all of this with her on the ultrasound. But I knew and I felt that something was not right about that day, because, yeah, like, I kept asking to see her on the ultrasound, and she was like, oh, well, I can't do that. You would have to wait until you talk to the doctor. Come to find out, I had almost little to none fluid, amniotic fluid, which is very important for the baby. It helps with the development of the lungs. It teaches the baby how to, you know, properly move their limbs, as far as, like, you know, being able to stretch, and it just make it where it's like more of an easy flow for them. It is just so many benefits that comes with having, you know, amniotic fluid throughout your whole pregnancy. Now, I have also learned that you can have too much fluid. So you can, in my case, I had entirely too little or none. And then in some other cases, it can be where someone, you know, has too much fluid. But with that being said, my case was too little, which was a very bad thing. So I'm trying to, this iPad is heavy. I need to get in the gym. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, she kept saying, you know, well, when you talk to the doctor explained everything, but she really wasn't going into details or let me see my child. So when I got back into the room, I automatically knew something was wrong. They come in the room and they basically explained to me that, you know, you have lost a lot of amniotic fluid. Like, you barely, we're measuring it, and you barely have even anything. And so, of course, we had questions from there, like, what does that mean? What's happening with that? And I don't care if you're in the medical field. I don't care how knowledgeable you are about, you know, anything that has to do with anything that's trauma. When you are the person that's on the receiving end, when you're the one that's having to deal with it, when you're the one that is getting the bad news, your mind go blank. So my mind completely went blank. But yeah, so she was basically explaining to me that this is not good. You are probably experiencing a miscarriage. You know, if you go into labor right now at 16 weeks, there's no way, or it's no chance that the baby will survive. So, of course, we're in tears. We're devastated. We're destroyed. We're just hurt because we worked so hard, so hard to get pregnant. And then to find out that not only was we pregnant, but we're having a little girl. What? I was on top of the world because like I could not wait to just buy pink everything. Pink, purple, teal. Um, I mean, I'm girly. Baby girl was definitely going to be girly. Like the bows in the head. I'm talking about the pretty little accessories, the little mini purses, the mommy and me matching. We was gonna do all of that. I had already been looking up all kind of videos and you know you get it. So I was very excited. So hearing that, you know, my spirit was broken, my heart was broken. I was completely numb. Everything was just I was really doing bad that day. So we ended up having to stay there because we needed to get a medical transfer, which means that we had to wait for you know, basically EMS or you know to come in to transport us, I'm sorry, to Emory, which is where majority of my story, as you will see as I go along, took place. So we were transported. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. We was transported to Emory. Once we got there, whatever, we met with the team of doctors, team of NICU doctors. Like, you know, we just met with the team of everyone, which, you know, for me, that's home. Family, friends, just everything there for me is just wonderful. If you know why, you know why. If you don't, you don't. But anywho, so we get there and yeah, you know, everyone was for the most part being positive, you know, praying over me, talking to me, giving me advice, you know, letting me know that although your sac has ruptured and your amniotic fluid is super low, you still can try to go through with this pregnancy if you would like. Of course we want, of course, that was not even a question in our mind. We want our baby. As long as, you know, the baby she has a heartbeat and God is on our side, we are willing to put up a fight. We understand it's going to be a long fight. It's going to be a tedious fight. You know, it's going to be pros and cons, but we were willing to put up a fight. So we understood what we had to face and what was in front of us. So like I said, we went to Emory. We were told that we were not exactly having a miscarriage, but we did have a, you know, long journey ahead of us. And yeah, so after that, I'm trying to remember, we stayed for like 3 days. We came home. I came home on medication to keep me from going into labor. I came home with like different prescriptions and things like that. So one of the things that they kept making clear is that you basically need to be on bed rest. So outside of doing the bare minimal, which is getting up, going to the bathroom, you need to be laying down, being still, and just trying to keep baby girl in. And that's exactly what I did, which for me is very hard to do because I am a Libra. I like to be in control. I am super independent, which you'll see and learn as you continue to, you know, follow me on this journey. I am super independent. I don't like to ask for help. I don't really care to, you know, um, need, I mean, it's nothing personal. I have people in my life that don't mind helping me, and I know that, and I love them for that. But when it comes to it, the first thing that I'm going to do is depend on myself and just, you know, be independent. Nothing wrong with that. But if you have people that love you and want to help you or want to be there for you, I would say take it. Because yeah, trying to do all of that and trying to be strong on your own and trying to keep your mental intact and all of that, sometimes you need help with that, to include a therapist. So if you need a therapist, sis, get you a therapist. If you need a therapist, my love, sir, whomever is watching me, get you a therapist. They really do help. But anywho, so yeah, so I'm on bed rest. That's where I was at in the story. I'm on bed rest. I made it, long story short, to 27 weeks. So 16 weeks is when it reminds you my sac rupture. I made it to 27 weeks. 27 weeks is how far my pregnancy was able to go. So at 24 weeks, though, I had to go and basically live in the hospital. Again, like I said, the staff there, they're my family, they're my friends. So they made the time there as best as they could. Like, they went out of their way. We got even more closer. We laughed, we talked. They took very great care of me. They gave me faith. They prayed with me. Yeah, and then, of course, I had my support system outside of the hospital. And, yeah, everyone, was there doing their due diligence. So it was very hard, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, I hated being in the hospital. Because, again, I'm living here. So I'm stuck in one room dealing with... Imagine when you go to the hospital for a checkup, or you go and you have to stay a few days. Now, imagine having to stay there for 2 months or more. No fun. So, although I made the best of it, and although everyone else was positive and trying to help me make the best of it, I still hated just being in the hospital. Because in my mind, I have so much I need to be at home doing. I have pets. I need to be prepping for baby girl. I need to be shopping, which I was still shopping. Don't get me wrong. That's another thing that helped me get through. Like, I stayed on Amazon or stayed on, any baby site, just shopping, and getting everything delivered to the house. So, yeah, but I still wanted to be there because I am very independent. So I really wanted to be at home to open things up, put things together. Like I said, my support group outside of the hospital was amazing. Super amazing. Yeah, so at 27 weeks, which was on October the 1st. Let me backtrack a little. Okay, because again, we are trying to what I'm trying to do with this video is, if it's someone that is watching me right now, and I'm looking dead at you, and I'm talking to you right now face to face. Sis, you have this, okay? It's not easy. If you have PPROM and you're watching my video, I really want to be, your faith today. I really want to be I want to give you energy. I want to give you, good vibes. I want to give you positive feedback. It's not easy, because I want to also be real and raw. It's not easy. But it is worth it. Like, for me, I chose to stay in the hospital. That's what I feel like was best for me. That's what the doctors were recommending. And, yeah, like, it was the safest thing. Because before I went into the hospital, I would have to go, like, every Monday, because now I have a high-risk pregnancy. So I would have to go every Monday to basically get an ultrasound done to make sure that baby girl still had a heartbeat. Imagine every Monday up until I was admitted into the hospital, having to go to my doctor, OBGYN, to just make sure my child had a heartbeat. So also when I was in the hospital, I'm trying to touch bases on some of the things that, they did while I was in the hospital, so you'll know what you're preparing for. So they definitely, for sure, check your temperature. Your temperature is checked 3 times out of the day, or routinely throughout the day, to make sure that you are not running a fever. If you are running a fever, then that means that you have developed an infection that can send you into septic shock. Septic shock means exactly like it sounds. You hit rock bottom, like you just plummet. You're now fighting for your life. You're in ICU. Your baby is 9 times out of 10 delivered, by cesarean, and they're in the NICU, because no matter at what stage, how can I put it? If you have your baby before 16 weeks, before 24 weeks, then the baby is not considered vital. So I think that's what just kept playing in my head. Keep her in, keep her in, keep her in. What I mean by not considered vital, it means that if you have your baby, say anytime before 24 weeks, that they would not resuscitate, which means that, yeah, you know what that means. So only thing I could say, and the only thing I was trying to manifest and pray about, was keep her in, keep her in, keep her in. Whatever you have to do, keep her in for as long as you can keep her in. But again, life has its ways of life, and God's will is his will. And no matter what you do, don't give up. Pray. Just have faith. Know that, God has you. Know that, your baby is worth it. know that, you know, at the end, you won't regret giving up so early. Like, imagine if I gave up at 16 weeks. So I made it to 27 weeks. Baby girl decided no more. She was super stubborn. Now, I will say that about my princess. She get it from her father. And I mean, she's his twin. She got his attitude. And I know he watching this video. She get it from her father. Don't let him tell you any different. Anywho, so yeah, like, she hated being put on a monitor. That she was very stubborn. So she came at 27 weeks. She was like, okay, I'm ready to, you know, make my way into the world. Baby girl didn't even really give me no true warning, because it all happened so fast to the point where I could not get an epidural. So first pregnancy, no epidural. I was about to lose my mind. When I say I was so scared when the doctor basically told me that I had to do it without an epidural. What? Because everybody knows labor, giving birth, contractions is no joke. I don't care if you work in the medical field. I don't care if you don't. You know it's no joke. Like, any woman that you ask will ever say, oh, girl, I didn't feel any pain. Oh, you going to feel pain today. And that hurts. I'm talking about on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10. It's off the meter. It hurts so bad. But, yeah, so I went into labor, gave birth. Now, I would say the birthing part for me was super easy because baby girl came right out. So I gave birth, and, you know, she was whisked off to the NICU. And this is when the storm, the nightmare, this is when everything went bad. Because unfortunately, you know, I won't go into details, but baby girl, you know, had a condition that was unknown, that we didn't know, we wasn't aware of through my whole pregnancy, although it was high risk. The doctors was not aware of it, although I was getting, like, you know, ultrasounds and being monitored so I would get monitored 3 times out of the day, morning, noon, and night. And then every week, like on a Friday, I would get like what's called the big ultrasound. That's what I call it anyway, just to put it in layman's terms, which is when they do, like, you know, an in-depth ultrasound on her heart, like everything. So, yeah, like after I gave birth and she's now in the NICU, that's when things really took a turn for the worse, because like I said, they realized that she had a condition that was affecting her heart. And unfortunately, she did not make it. So on October the 1st, 2022, I gave birth. But also on October the 1st, 2022, later on that night, baby girl passed away. And when I say that it was like living hell on her earth, that's what it was. When I say I was so hurt, I was devastated. I was mad. I was upset. I had questions. I was irritated, agitated, aggravated. Faith was just, my faith, like, it was no longer something that existed in my life, because I felt betrayed. I was upset. And God knows that I was upset. He knows you. He knows your heart. So no matter how you feel, no matter if you're crying, yelling, screaming, go talk to him. And just know that, you know, his will is the best will. So you might not understand it. It honestly might not make any kind of sense. You might even question, why me? Why me? But his will is the best will. I had to learn that. I'm still learning that. But yeah, so that's how my PPROM pregnancy ended. Unfortunately, baby girl did not make it. But I can honestly say it wasn't because of the PPROM all the way. I mean, that probably had a part to do with it, but that's not the reason she didn't make it. So again, I really, really don't want you to feel defeated listening to my story, because yeah, that's not the reason. She had some other condition that we were unaware of, that they still don't have answers to. They can't explain it. Can't explain to me why I ruptured at 16 weeks. They can't explain to me what condition baby girl had that ended up, you know, that ended up taking her life. So yeah, but I feel like God's will in my life was and is still his will. So, you know, I might not understand it, but he have his reasonings, and I have to be okay with that. We have to learn to be okay with our will not always being the same will as God's, because His will is the right will. We have to learn with being okay with not having answers. We have to learn to not always try to be in control. We have to learn how to be upset but still keep going. So that's what I've been doing. Lately, I just have been on this soft girl era. I have been on my spiritual journey, my walk with God. When I say that my walk with God is real, it's 100% real. It was always strong, but I would say it's a million times stronger now. Like, I go to Him about everything. I pray. I read my Bible. I listen to my gospel music. I journal in my journal. I do my self-help books. I talk to my therapist. I talk to, family and friends. And yeah, pain is what we experience. Suffering is how we choose to deal with that pain. So we have to learn how to keep going, keep trying, keep pushing. And whatever you need to do to cope, do that shit. What I'm talking about, whatever you need to do to cope, that I feel like is good. Don't be out here doing negative stuff like drinking and doing all that. Because it might numb the pain for a moment, but you still have to come back to reality, right? So find positive ways to cope. That's what I do. Like I said, I named a few things that I do that help me. Like today, this is what I have been doing. I have been reading my self-help book. I have been writing in my book. And yeah, that's what's getting me through another day. Now, with all of that being said, told you my promo story. If it has happened to you, if you know someone that it has happened to, if you're currently going through it, please do not hesitate to ask me any questions. My comment section is open. I want to talk. I want feedback. Again, we are going on this journey together, which brings me to my next topic. So tomorrow, sis, which is, what's tomorrow? January the 8th. So I want y'all to document this, right? January the 8th, which is tomorrow, I have to go to get this procedure called SHG. I already had the HSG. The HSG is basically, I'm going to put the name here because, sis, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that right now. But the HSG, I have had that procedure done twice. Basically, it's when they release ink into your fallopian tubes. The purpose of this is to see how the ink travel, which the ink really is like, shall I say it? Sperm. So the ink, that's kind of, that's kind of the purpose of the ink. So they release it into your fallopian tube so that they can get an x-ray vision so that they can make sure your fallopian tubes are open. Because, of course, we know we need at least one fallopian tube to get pregnant, right? You need at least one. A lot of people don't know this, but you can you have two, but you can get pregnant with just one as long as that one is good and healthy. So I have both. Both of my fallopian tubes, I found out, was completely open. No problem. They're there. They're ready to receive, the little swimmer so that, it can go and I can get pregnant again. So that was great news. God will do it. God is great. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I had the HSG done, that shit hurt. It hurt. The cramping, the heavy bleeding after, but it was worth it. So tomorrow I am going to get a sonogram, which is the SHG. What they're going to do is release, this time, saline into my uterus. Saline is water. So they're going to release that into my uterus because since I did rupture at 16 weeks, we're trying to see why. We want to see what happens once, my uterus fills up. Which, when I'm pregnant, it will be filling up, of course, with amniotic fluid, which is what, remind you, we spoke about earlier in the video. So, yeah. So, they're going to release that into my uterus to make sure that everything is good, healthy, and clear. And then, if that is the case, we'll proceed to the next step. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm a Googling type of chick. So I go on Google a little too much, and then I be Googling stuff that I don't have no business Googling. And then I be paranoid, and then I be... So I decided not to do that this time. So I'm going in here completely blind. Just like, I'm here. What we doing? Tell me what you need me to do next. What position? And I want to take you guys on a journey. So yeah. I don't really know how much I can record. Of course, I want to keep some things private, but I do want you guys to, you know, experience and live vicariously through me. So that if you're watching this video and you have a procedure coming up, HSG, SHG, you kind of can get a little more in-depth detail about how it works, what happens, what's the procedure, things like that. So yeah, we're doing that tomorrow. I'm nervous, but I'm ready because, like, I manifest this child. I manifest that we'll have another baby. I'll have another baby girl. I manifest that, you know, yeah, that we'll be pregnant again in 2024. And I speak that into the universe. I speak that on this video. I'm speaking that into existence. This time I know that God will have me still. He will carry me through, you know. This will be a great pregnancy. And yeah, we're being positive today. So yeah, that's what I am doing tomorrow. And that's one of the journeys that I'm going to take you guys on. We're already on our lock journey. I have a appointment to get my first retwist on Saturday. So this Saturday. So I'm going to definitely take you guys on that journey as well. And sis is due for a retwist, baby. I am 8 weeks plus in now. Yeah. Due for a retwist. But I'm definitely loving the lock journey. I'm trusting it. I'm fully, you know, invested. I'm trusting the process. And yeah, I'm loving it. So if you are thinking about getting locks, get you some locks, sis. I absolutely do not regret it. And tomorrow, the new journey towards, we'll call this journey what y'all want to call it. Put it down in the comment section. I say journey to baby girl because I need another girl because I have a lot of baby girl stuff. But if God bless me with a boy or twins, I welcome that as well. A boy and a girl. Knock them out. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. I have been recording for a while now. So I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I pray that we all have a great week. I pray that, you know, you only have positive vibes and everything around you is peaceful, wonderful, and great. Tomorrow, I need y'all up bright and early, ready and dressed because we have this journey to go on. And I need y'all there. Beat me there. Don't beat me there. But yeah, I love you guys. If you have not yet, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Mwah.